All right, like I said, you're welcome to your superstar station, Star FM 101.5, and it's Elder Living with Kemi. Today, we'll be talking about the mental health responses for survivors of rape. Like I said last week, we spoke about the mental health effect of rape. Today, we are still continuing on the discussion. And as usual, we have with us Dr. Oluseun Peter Ogunubi. He's a doctor, a consultant psychiatrist, an academia, a researcher, and currently a lecturer of the University of Lagos. We will be doing justice to our discussion today. We need to stop this maintenance. Say no to rape and starting with us. Good morning, sir.
Kemi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Many thanks for joining us today again.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, for the advantage and the benefit of so many people that were not with us last week, Thursday, when we talk about the mental effect of rape, let us start with what rape really is, because so many people, especially for married couples, feels that this is my wife, this is my husband. I cannot, if I force my wife or husband to do this, do that, it is not rape. So, explain what rape really means.
Well, it is important for us to understand that having any kind of knowledge, or having or touching, kissing, doing anything to opposite gender without their approval or their consent is simply
rape.
referred to as rape. And as we always say, we say that when the other person says no, it is a complete statement.
True.
No means no. There's no ambiguity. There's no other language that, okay, maybe I thought when someone says no, it is a complete
no
statement. So that goes on. And different culture, different religion, different things have their own definition.
Yeah.
Some religious believe that, oh, your wife is your wife, you can do anything. But generally, in our civil society, we believe that whether a woman or being a man, if he says no or she says no, it means no. So having undue kind of knowledge at your own satisfaction to the detriment of the other person is referred to as rape.
Rape. All right, yes, there have been so many assertions and so many controversy as regards rape. People are saying that the male also they are also victims of rape, though is more dominant with the female. So can you tell us about the statistics? What do you feel as regards that controversy?
Yeah, as much as possible. I remember growing up. I grew up in a suburb part of this Lagos, and I mean, I remember a particular household. Every night, or almost 3 times or 4 times in the night, you see the man almost running out of the house with the wife chasing him. That no, and it's now that I'm just thinking about it, that that means that this man has been raped continuously almost every night.
Yeah.
Because the wife will continue to rain abuse and pull his trouser and say, no, you must come back inside and everything. So, in essence, when a man says no, it also means no.
Yeah.
And we see instances that women or partners will eventually say, no, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
We've also seen on campus different female courses who gang rape men, gang rape lecturers, as a way of dealing or punishing the lecturers. We've seen several cases in our society, even though most of the time it is believed that, you know, for you to rape somebody, you have to subdue the person.
Yes.
And then naturally, you assume that a man should be muscular enough to be able to withstand, to be able to stand. I have seen a case of a man being raped. It's not about being a man. I've seen a case of a man being raped, and what he said was that it was like play, he was tied. And once the hands were tied, like play.
Wow.
And you know, he was gang raped. So we may not have the statistics there.
Yeah.
But the truth is that it is not something we should just overlook. And say men are powerful. Nobody can rape any man.
All right, thank you so much. So basically, rape happens to a male and also a female. So that is it. Now
Yes.
let's move down to the aspect. Before we go to the mental part of it, there have been it has been said the lack of disclosure and openness is associated with more severe psychological consequences of rape. So can you explain that more?
Yeah, the truth is that when you suffer something or you
Yes.
suffer an injustice,
Mhm.
your ability to talk to people and people empathize with you, they fight your cause,
Mhm.
they come out, it has a way of making you not only have a closure,
Mhm.
but also feeling a sense of justice, feeling a sense that these people are standing up for you.
Mm.
And when society stigmatizes those who have been raped,
Yeah.
and they condemn them for their dressing, they condemn them for why they have to visit the person, why they have to go to the house alone and all the likes,
Mhm.
it leads to problem of non-disclosure.
Disclosure.
And and once you have that, you now begin to carry your burden alone,
Mm.
you suffer alone, you cannot tell anybody. And you know, we are social animals.
Yes.
When things happen to you, the tendency for any man is to look for a confidant, is to look for somebody
Yes.
to relate, to relieve all those burdens to.
Mhm.
But when you find none, and you look around and you do not find any, you
Anything.
now have to carry your burden by yourself. Imagine now carrying the burden 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years, 15 years.
Wow.
I mean, it can be demoralizing. It can be, depressing,
True.
to
True.
say the least. Yeah.
All right. Now, what are the mental after effect of rape? Aftermath effect of rape. The mental health aftermath effect of rape.
Yeah, as I said, for the benefit of those who did not join the part one, and as a way of recapping what we said last week,
Yes.
I said rape is a stressor.
Hmm.
Rape can predispose to mental illness.
Mhm.
Rape can precipitate mental illness.
Yes.
And rape can also make anybody with emotional illness before, who is maybe going through treatment, but as long as he or she thinks of that, something can perpetuate.
Hmm.
So we are looking at predisposing, precipitating,
Hmm.
and perpetuating. When we say predisposing, no
Okay.
mental illness, nothing before. And all of a sudden you find yourself in this gruesome, traumatic event.
Okay.
What it does is that it will now spring forth emotional problem.
Hmm.
Be it, which I'm going to mention, but
Okay.
I'm just telling you how it can predispose.
Hmm. All
Now,
right.
secondly,
Okay.
how can it precipitate?
Okay.
Oh, this person has tendency for mental illness before, but everything is okay, and then nothing is happening to him. He may even live, or she may live 100 years without showing any symptom of mental illness. But now rape happens. What happens? It brings and precipitates the hidden or the latent emotional illness that is inside. And then perpetuating means somebody is emotionally ill before, he's just managing or she's managing herself, and then she faces traumatic events of rape. What happens? That may not make mental illness to even go. It continues to reoccur over and over. So those are the three ways that rape can affect. And now, talking about different measures, different entities, or different diagnoses of mental illness, many.
Yeah.
There are so many cases. For example, I can talk about depression, which is common. We all know. Most of the people that will come to you depressed and when you ask them to talk about their background, they start crying. Then the next thing is, I have been abused. I cannot forgive myself and everything. So depression is key. Another thing is post-traumatic stress disorder.
True.
Because rape is a traumatic event. It's like a soldier that went to war. He may have defeated everybody, but when he comes back home, he will be having flashbacks, avoiding anything that will bring that memory back. He will not be able to sleep. She will not be able to concentrate. She will be afraid. She will be anytime, even when she's married, and then she wants to even have any sexual relationship, she become rigid and frigid.
Yes.
All those things. Why? Because of the past traumatic event. That is post-traumatic. It can also even change the personality of the person.
Yes.
The person may become timid. She may hate herself. She may see herself as a loose vessel, as a loose person. She may not have that self-respect and integrity again. And she may lose the real essence of who she has been before. And this may not make her to have inferiority complex, will not be able to contribute in society. She will feel run down. And if she turns the other way, she may even become hateful, resentful. She may take the society. Some in an attempt to get over it, they become addicts. Alcohol, substance, all sort of
things.
All sort of things. So we can go on and on. Is it insomnia? We will not be able to sleep.
Yeah.
We talk of fear, phobia of going out, social phobia, talking in society. Is it? There are so many. That's why I said that race is like, a trigger that now opens anybody to a warehouse of mental illness. It is not a matter of choose your choice.
Yes.
It can be anything. It can trigger any form of emotional illness.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. With us, Dr. Olusegun Peter Ogunubi. He's doing justice to our discussion today, the mental health responses for survivors of rape. Now, Doctor, tell us, what is the first aid response to be given to a rape victim? We know that from the justice or system, the justice perspective, they said that it is important that the victim shouldn't wash up because of some specimen we want to be taken out of the person for testing and all of those. So, but then, in your own side of the story, what is the first aid response to be given to a rape victim, health-wise?
Yeah, thank you so much. If anybody, for example, if anybody has been raped or just recently been raped, it's important to know that. So, at the mind of the survivor, the next thing you should think of is justice.
Okay.
And you need to be smart about it because you know that it is a retrospective something.
Yes.
Most of the time, rape cases are quashed in court. Why? They tell you where are the bruises, where is the sperm specimen, where is this, where is that. And most of the time, people will not be able to produce it.
Yes.
And of course, if the case is so glaring, and the law must take a case that case must be proven in no reasonable doubt. So, if anybody survives, the next thing at that moment is to go to the hospital for checkup. Let some of these parameters, let that be medical history. The competent doctor, let them take medical history, let them take specimen.
Yes.
Okay? Contact lawyer and also get psychological help.
Okay.
Now, coming to psychological help, which is my own part, which is my own field, it is important that we do what we call psychological first aid.
Okay.
Because a trauma has occurred. Something has been taken from somebody.
Okay.
Virtues, integrity, dignity,
yes,
self-esteem has been taken.
Yes.
And you need to do what we call psychological. Before we used to do debriefing.
Okay.
Debriefing, you see the person that will be telling you things that happened, this and that, but it is no longer invoked in psychology.
Okay.
Debriefing is like forcing somebody to say, well, sometimes at that time they may not want to talk.
Okay.
So, psychological first aid is an advanced form of debriefing, which you will allow the person time. If the person doesn't want help at that time, you give time. But you continue to, move close to the person, get social support around the person.
Okay.
What are the things the person needs? Who would like to stigmatize? Is he afraid of telling the parents? How do you bring the news? How do you assist? Supportive therapy. Those are the components of psychological. Unlike the briefing that just keep the person down, how did it happen? How did you remove your skirt? How did you remove your trouser? How did it? And this can also create a sense of, you are reenacting the thing. And it can really be very traumatic again. So you don't want to re-traumatize. So I want to use this medium to talk to my colleagues and other people who are still doing the briefing to stop. The teaching is no longer invoked
Mm-hmm.
because it traumatizes the case. So you do psychological first aid. And I'm very sure anybody is competent in the field of mental health and psychology will understand what psychological
First aid is all about.
And because it is not just one thing, like the briefing, it is a continuous process until you realize that the person has totally gotten off the emotional sequelae.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Now let's talk about the coping mechanism for the victims, survivors. So, what kind of in this kind of situation? Tell us about the coping mechanisms.
Well, in mental health, when you talk about coping mechanism, there are many factors, there are many vagaries, there are many things that are closely associated with coping mechanism.
Okay.
For example, the coping mechanism that we adapt or we adopt in any situation has a lot to do with my environment,
okay,
with my support system,
okay,
and with my personality.
All right.
You know, and a top personality, someone that believes that someone that is not easily broken will be able to survive better than a soft-hearted person with feeble personality.
Mm-hmm.
That anything that is like any stressor whatsoever that gets to that person, the person will just come like a pack of cards. So it has a lot, and that's why we always teach and we preach resilience.
Yes.
The overall factor is resilience and good social support system. With good social support system and individual resilience, then coping with the aftermath of rape becomes very easy.
Okay.
But if the individual has no resilience in the first place, and resilience is another topic on its own. So I mean, we already did not talk about what are the factors, how do we build resilience, coping with stress and cope. These are not that three entirely.
Okay.
But the key factor we need to know today is individual resilience, personality, and the support system they have will help them a lot to cope with. I want to talk about support system. We're talking about the family unit, we're talking about the society, not stigmatizing, we're talking about the law, punishing, really, not perpetrator will be brought to book every day, and really making people who are survivors to know that, the justice has caught up with that person, their cases have been fought by others, and they have been vindicated. That alone will give them a sense of relief and happiness.
Okay, Doctor, here is a message. Someone said that, is it possible to be free totally from mental health effect of rape? Do we have people that tend to forget about it as regards to, I think that's what the person is saying. Is it possible to totally recover from the mental effect of rape, that in the nearest future you won't get to talk about it or remember and start feeling sad?
No, what happens is when you go through with good experts, not just going to quacks, okay? Because it's important to know that we have many quacks outside there. We say they are mental health experts, okay? So I always use the opportunity to say you must go to the right place, okay? And once you get the right intervention, the way it's going to be is it's like having a physical injury. And then after the wound has healed, you have a scar.
Okay.
When you look at the scar in your hand on your leg, you do not feel the pain. When I think the wound was still, the wound is still there.
Okay.
You feel a sense of, oh wow, I remember when I had this wound, it was so painful. You speak in past tense, number one. And then just look at it with this amazing look that, oh, I survived this part. Well, it is well. You know that kind of feeling. So you are still talking about the scar. You remember the wound, but it did not touch or affect your emotion or touch your soul the way it's used to when the wound was still fresh.
Yes.
So the kind of healing you go through is going to make you just, when you in fact, that's why you see people who come out and say, I have been raped before.
Yeah. They talk boldly because they are married.
But you don't ask them. I mean, when a report came out as a comedian and said, I have been raped, I've done this and that. I mean, you wonder how can she be saying this? People come out to say, I see Zoom, I see Instagram live, people coming out to say, I've I've been this, I've been that.
Okay.
You know, they say it from a position of healing, rather from a position of pain. So rape is not something you ever forget, but when you remember it, the question is, at what position are you remembering it?
Okay.
Is it from position of pain or from position of healing?
All right.
I think the aim of psychological intervention is that you relieve traumatic events of rape from position of healing.
All right, thank you so much, doctor. All right, this is another one. Okay, he says, what if I was raped and I explain and I tell people, but they don't believe me?
You see, that's I talked about social support.
Yes.
And belief, stigma.
Yes, stigmatization.
Shaming the victim is one of the things that we need to. You know, we are talking about how to take home. And I said personality, resilience, and support system. So look at what this person is saying. They did not believe. So that's the poor support system. They are saying that you are a liar. They are saying that, and that is for that aggravates, like putting salt to the already dangerous injury.
Yes.
Okay? And this is why we are having things like this. This is why we are having, mental health talk like this, advocacy like this, that come. It is not unfair because of their dressing. I've seen cases of a mother saying, I will send out of this house when the daughter said, my father raped me. You want to destroy our family, you want to bring shame, or the daughter will say, the driver raped me. What do you mean? You want to, and then you shut the person down.
Yes.
This should no longer be encouraged. They should be supported. They should, because it can damage. In fact, when you talk about things that damage people's ego, from rape, abuse, emotional abuse, rape is something that, in fact, we need to understand. The public needs to understand that you cannot continue to shame the victim. You cannot continue to stigmatize the victim. You cannot continue to say that it's because of the clothes they are wearing. You cannot continue to say why you are carried there. You cannot continue to use things that will further bring salt to the injury, because these people have been injured already.
True. All right. Finally, doctor, before we let you go, let me take this last question. It says, what if I'm in the middle of a rape, and what should I do? Should I eat the person's head and the person is powerful? What should I do?
Well, in some countries now, they train women on self-defense.
Okay.
It's only that we are supposed to learn this in our NY reports.
Okay.
NYC has become a jamboree, I'm going to say. But naturally, individuals should, for ways to protect themselves, look at why I would not say people should rape because of clothes, because of where they go. It is not
no excuse for rape.
No excuse for rape. That one is already sacrosanct. But at the same time, we tell our ladies who are protected because of the strength and everything, not to walk in the middle of the night, not to follow any friend to a strange place. Make sure that as much as possible they confine themselves to an environment that they're used to, and they always allow people around them to know their whereabouts. And if you eventually get yourself to a situation, I believe you should use your sense of judgment. If a man is hurt to your throat, and then you are fighting, and the body has a way of sensing danger. Yes. The body will tell you whether to run. You call it flight or fight. And that is why at that moment you should put on the body's defense mechanism, whether it is to fight or to run away, if it is possible. But I cannot categorize and begin to tell you these are the things you should be doing and rape is down and cool. It's not possible for me. So if it happens, mine is to make sure that you are healed. True. And when you are talking about it, you speak about it from the position of healing and not of horror, pain, and trauma.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Tell us, how do you close on our discussion today?
Yeah, I just close by saying no shame. Come out, get help, and get help from the right quarter. Because the rate at which court has bringing forth in the medical field now, especially the psychological power, is becoming alarming. And if you don't get help from the right quarter, I'm sorry, you will waste your money, waste your resources, and you will also bleed more on your injury.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Oluseun Peter Ogunobi. We so much appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Bye-bye,
sir.
Kenny.
Bye, sir. All right. We just